fix it. We did clean this thing last winter. A couple of things that I like to see is if you look across here on both sides, there are no spoils. You can't see the spoils. A little bit right on the edge.
And what are spoils?
That's when you clean the ditch.
Okay.
You can put the dirt up here.
Oh,
Okay.
That's spoils, and I like to push those spoils out.
Okay.
Okay.
Put them back on the field,
Right.
and then that makes we're high here, but we'll go on down. That makes beyond the ditch wall part of the ditch in an extremely high water event.
Mm-hmm.
Our ditches are reasonably well engineered. The engineer that the head engineer part of the Hoover Dam was actually our county engineer for several years.
Oh wow.
So we had a high quality engineer here, and he was not a slouch. He worked. I have all his notes, all his math, and if we reestablish ditches to what he designed them to, they handle today's water without any problem. There's not a set rule on that. See, here's another place that this definitely needs a pipe here because there's not much
Yeah,
feeding
you can
into
see
it.
the cut right there.
Yeah. So that's not two-stage, but it is ditch maintenance, and we're not here just on two-stage.
Okay.
That's bonus.
Good to know. Yeah, I'm learning a lot about farming.
Now this, so we have another ditch coming in. This ditch here is called Stoll,
Okay.
and this ditch here is Whipple. Thing,
Okay.
because this farmer liked this two-stage,
Uh-huh.
and then that was two-stage down. But once you get kind of around that bend,
Mm-hmm.
the fall is terrific.
Okay.
So one of the things that I'm doing is putting in riffles.
Okay.
So the riffle has two advantages. One is to make a pool, slow the water down, run it across a bunch of rocks,
Right.
which the rocks will attract bacteria, and those bacteria will help break down nitrogens and phosphates. I didn't
Okay.
realize they break down phosphates, but according to the class, they got break down phosphates. So this one probably needs like 6 riffles, and it doesn't have any. But what we do them, it's one step at a time. And I get just about all the contractors and all the farmers know that if they're going to bust up concrete, I probably want it. So they always know, they call me. So if I can get a contractor to actually place it, and we can get it, so we have another cut coming across here.
We do a lot of neighborhood.
Yeah, we should.
What you call it? A what's called?
Yeah. It's a, let's see, water and soil obstruction. No, it's water and soil. It's soil stabilization structure.
Okay.
Why they call it? I've got the letters out of order. Is the problem there?
I think I've heard of them, but I've never seen one.
Basically, it's a dam
Okay.
Oh.
with a pipe, so that the water, because if you got water coming off the field and you can stop it and then drain it, it leaves a good share of the soil in the field. Now, the only soil that stays in the water is that is there's a word for it, saturated. It's not saturated. It's suspended. Yeah. Well, it's even with a suspension. If it sets it, it'll drop out. But some of
it's a solution.
Yeah. Right. It becomes a
Whatever
solution.
they call that.
There's an old tile through here.
So basically, it just keeps the water pooling on the field before it goes down the drain. drain.
Yeah, and
Okay.
those cavities will fill in.
Right.
So the ditch that we come up along, there's a tile that comes from the other side of that house, comes down through about where the guy's spreading fertilizer, and then goes over to those trees, and then it becomes an open ditch from then on. Just for information, there's 3 tile lines.
So these practices can run into each other pretty cleanly then?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So this is, just to give you an idea, these ditches are called Elizabeth Stifler.
Okay.
It's interesting, there's a lot of women's names on the ditches. Okay? So, and I think as the kids got older, the women had time to go out and beat the bushes and carry petitions to get drains in. So one of the things you may not realize, all of this was swamp.
Okay.
Basically. I mean, we got high knobs here, obviously. These were not. But so this was all settled under the Swamp Busters Act, which was government sponsored. If you staked your claim, got your claim registered, you didn't get to own the land yet, but you got your claim. Then once you put your ditch in, once you put your drainage in, then they would give you the deed.
Right.
Okay.
So
Kind of like how we did out west with grazing.
Yes,
territory.
yes. So this was from basically Lake Erie over through this whole area, all the way across into Illinois, and I don't know how far into Illinois. So here's, look at this woods.
Right.
So what do we have here?
Well, a lot of scrubby stuff.
A lot of scrubby stuff. And what do we have that looks like it may be quality in the future?
I'd say that's going to be a Tyler.
There's almost no logs. You know, if you look at the crookedness and the number of branches,
Right.
That's a problem. and these people, they seriously want a woods.
Right.
You know,
okay, this is the lady who just let it grow.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I was gonna say it looked really scrubby.
So they're
I
not
saw
taking any
cedar in there.
payments. They're not, you know, she's just paying taxes on it. Basically, clean air person, and that's good. We need those. But she lives right here.
Yeah.
So the only thing out there I found of any value was a big northern owl.
Yeah.
It's like 2 foot tall owl.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really, that was a nice sighting. But I couldn't find it for the lady to see it for herself. I told her where to look. So here we're cleaning this ditch here. This was all trees along the ditches.
Okay.
So this is a county project. We'll go past that. So go down. There's a natural 2-stage down here.
Oh, wow. So this is not just something that
So these
people put in. They can just...
Yeah, this was man-made ditch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Virtually, if they're well, I'll show you the ditch that we took over. So it was a creek or stream, and we took it over as a ditch. There's an oil line that comes through here. That's actually crude oil. So you can see the number of trees. This was just full of trees, and they're all cottonwoods. And it's getting to the point where they're restricting the ditch.
Yeah, I can see that. Those darn cottonwoods, man. They don't give up.
Fortunately, one of the farmers over here took them all. He's got a big heater that he heats his shop with in his house. And
he just took all the
he
wood?
took all of them. And so it kept us from burning. We're just burning branches and stuff that they miss.
I worked for an arborist for a while, and we'd have so many people that would refuse to take cottonwood.
Yeah.
They said it crackled too much.
Oh, that's the best part.
Yeah. Well, it's
So yeah.
give
So then
up
this ditch
cotton.
goes this way, and this had been cleaned. It's been let go. The little trees are all dead.
Okay.
We'll come along with a grinder. I like grinders for clearing the brush along a ditch.
Yeah.
And trees and drainage ditches don't get along.
Yeah.
Now, larger rivers probably need some stabilization that a tree might present, but really, mostly on our ditches, trees destabilize because of the way
Okay.
the roots come out into them. So this was another old farmstead's gone. Keep eliminating them. So there is a ditch beside us. Brings that way under. And then, so we have a ditch can be a tile also. So,
Okay.
Okay.
So here's this one. I was wanting to two-stage this ditch, and these ditches in this area just got neglected. Now you can see the two-staging here.
Yeah.
I'll pull ahead so you can. You'll want to try to
Yeah, thank you.
slide across and see that. So this is just a natural. I talked to Claire about using 319 funds to put this, and then it's one of those deals where you couldn't have more than 5 trees larger than 3 inches in diameter at chest height.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anybody tall enough to be up where the trees were small. So we took the trees out. Some ditches don't lend themselves well that way, but I'll try to point those out.
Okay.
But so this, you can see this is just a natural two-stage ditch.
So it just did this.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So so first of all, in order for it to naturally do that cut like that, it's flowing too fast.
Ah,
Okay.
So
makes sense.
So the starting
Right.
process needs to be some kind of riffle or something like that.
Right, because it's moving outwards because it needs to lessen its slope.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And see, I don't agree with Army Corps on making ditches longer to prevent flooding. New tile here, and this is a constant mistake we run into. They're all made by clans of people. Okay,
Yeah.
so these people moved into the area. The ditches aren't always where they should be. Not where they would naturally occur. Over there is lower than over here. But part of it is the sediments that they pulled out has actually brought the ditch up.
Right.
So this ditch is a good 2 feet above what it ought to be. Now, there's some little bit of construction there because there's a tile that goes across here that actually is in good shape.
Okay.
But over on that road there, that tile goes around to 500. And the complaint was, the farmers were all like, hey, every time it rains, water just shoots out of that tile under the road and over onto the other side. And, well, there's only 1 foot of fall from here to there. So when the water comes up, it's higher than there.
Okay.
So I put check valves in. And I put the check valves over there, not over here. Because I don't have to fight with debris so much. We'll just try it right here and go forward now. So anyway, we put a new tile under,
Okay.
and it was collapsing. So we put a new pipe there, and we put check valve there.
Yeah.
And then somebody had the bright idea to drain the water back off. So they put a culvert up in that corner up there, from the ditch to the field, not realizing that the water will flow out of the ditch when the water's high, and then it takes a long time for the water to find its way back to that culvert to go back into the ditch afterwards. So we took it out, and we put, I think 4, we put 3 on this side, 18-inch pipes with check valves with a 24-inch collector.
Okay.
And the reason for that is that kind of box check valve only comes up to 18. So, so we put check valves here, and you can kind of see where these going around. One here in the corner, one on the other side.
Oh yeah.
This was a tile.
I would say I think I saw some
Yeah.
crumbled tiles in there.
It's pretty crumbled. So there, this year, make that an open ditch. Soil and Water Conservation Service designed a ditch for here 20 years ago, 22 years ago. We're gonna get it done.
All right. Better late than never.
About time.
Goes to the big lick there, and you see we getting the straight
Mm-hmm.
cutouts there. So here's a good place for. We have the rocks, so we'll build just about enough space there to put in a riffle,
Okay.
and so we'll slow that water down, try to protect, keep from it taking out the road. Gas pipe in there that complicates things a little bit, but we have the materials here ready to go. We just haven't got it done. So we need to get it there.
We always have to be very specific when we build a riffle for a low head dam that the concrete material is at the bottom. Like we're putting natural stone on the top, no worries.
Yeah. Well, they're not opposed to using busted up concrete.
No, they're
At least
not.
the guys around here.
Well, on bigger rivers, they want natural stone.
Yeah, and I can see that. And hopefully you got a source of it. But like here, we don't have a good source of natural stone.
It's expensive.
Yeah.